Recording.
Good morning. It's Monday the 13th. It's about 8:20 a.m. We're getting the boat ready to depart for the Guinness World Record for longest journey by John Boat. We waited a little later for takeoff because we had a heavy fog on the river. We want to be safe while we get this done. But we just hit the dew point a few minutes ago and fog is rising. We're getting our GPS tracker unit ready to go, and I think within about 10 minutes or so we're going to be on the water. Guys, I hope y'all have a good time following along because I'm going to have a great time on the river. Take care. Hey, we had our first big challenge this morning. Oh, I wouldn't call it big, it's just part of the adventure. I got to the Opakeska Lock, which is about 15 miles into the trip, and it was closed. I called them and they said, yeah, the industry up above this has kind of gone out of business, so they don't operate the first two locks. So I called Dave and he met me upstream a ways, and we picked up at a little town, and we went below the lock, found a private boat dock where a lady would let us use her boat ramp. So what we've done is we've gone upstream to the lock that I couldn't get around. We're going to go downstream to the next lock that's closed, and then back to this lady's private lock, so we cover every inch of the river. Don't want to miss a bit of this fun. Thanks, guys. We'll see you down the river. Hey, man, we're just finishing up at Calicente's restaurant. Cindy's here with me. Are you one of the owners?
I am.
Well, man, we had a great meal. We do appreciate it, and I want to thank Teresa for recommending Calicente's. And
yes, thank you, Teresa.
But we got a new friend to follow the Facebook page, and look forward to visiting with each other as we get down the river. Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon. Hey, we're still moving down the river. Where are we at now? What town is this?
We are at Post 940 American Legion in West Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
I made it to Pennsylvania. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even know I was in Pennsylvania. This gentleman who's filming us right now told us. But Libby's got this really cool bluegrass group she was showing me about.
We're called the Jacobs Ferry Stragglers.
Yeah. And man, I want everyone to check out our group. Really good. We got to get her to Texas sometime. We've done 30 states, but never made it to Texas.
We do about 30 states. We did make it to Amarillo, Texas, but not deep down.
Yeah, well, that's like Oklahoma. That's not really Texas. But yeah, the American Legion's been ultra cool. Dave came by, and we're staying in one of the members' backyard tonight, and we're just having a great time moving down the river, meeting people like Libby, and having a good time. See you down the river. Good morning. It's day 2. I'm in West Brownsville, Pennsylvania. Made it out of West Virginia into Pennsylvania. You're overlooking the river. You can see it's gotten a lot bigger by now. And we had a great evening last night. We got hosted by the American Legion here, and had a few drinks with those guys, and then one of the American Legion members offered to let us camp in their backyard, and that's what you're starting to see right now is the host that hosted us last night's yard. Got a little swimming pool right there, and you can see where I set my tent up last night. We sat under that nice covered awning and had a few drinks as we overlooked the river. We're able to put my boat right down beside us there on his boat dock. Okay, well, we will see you down the river, and still having a great time. Take care. Okay. Hey, I'm in West Brownsville, Pennsylvania, and I want to introduce you to my host, and you can introduce yourself.
Dennis Matthews.
And Dennis, we met through the local American Legion, and he offered to let us stay at his house last night. Well, guess what? He had the remnants of the coolest party and a whole cooler full of beer. So we sat by the river and enjoyed a few libations, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you so much. You've become an official river angel.
Thank you.
And so guys, I can't remember my exact mileage right now, but I'm about 40 miles on into Pittsburgh, and we're going to get on the river. Hang in there and stay with us, guys. We look forward to seeing you down the river. Bye. Hey, Ivan, I am curious. how in the heck did you find out about me?
Well, I work in the Public Affairs Office of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Pittsburgh District. And so somebody had emailed and said, hey, there's a guy going downriver doing a world record on a John boat. And I was like, what? And so what I did is I called a couple locks and was trying to throw my drag net out to catch and find him. And so I called Braddock and they said, hey, somebody's coming. And I said, hey, give him my number, have him call. And so came down from the my office, met him here at the point, and had a nice little interview, and now he's interviewing me.
Yeah, I was wondering, was I in trouble? Because the guy at the lock goes, hey, they're calling me over to the office. And he comes back with your number. It was a pretty cool deal. And I've really enjoyed working with the Corps of Engineers, and I want to tell you I appreciate what y'all do.
Yeah, well, we'd like to thank you. You seem like you're pretty prepared. You know, we have 3 words we'd like to say: know, take, wear. Know the waterways, take a safety course, and always wear a life jacket. So I'm not actually on the river, I'm on the bank here, but I have it just in case. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and check out the website, and hopefully if I get posted on yours, you can let me know, and we'll hyperlink over to y'all's website.
Excellent.
Okay. Good morning. It is day 3. I am on the river at the New Cumberland Lock, waiting for 2 commercial vessels to get through the lock. There's one of them there on that pier behind me that's waiting. And it's going to be probably about a 2-hour wait to get through this lock, which is kind of typical when you're in some of the industrial areas. I've gotten through 2 locks already, so this will be my 3rd one on the Ohio. I'm 85 miles down the Ohio, so I've come 2 miles on the Tygart, 135 or so on the Monongahela, and 85 on the Ohio. See a large power plant, coal generated power plants. You see a lot of barges there carrying coal in. But should get down through here. I'm hoping to get in a 200 plus mile day today if I don't get held up on too many locks, but still having fun. I'll see you down the river. Hey, Robert on the river, and I met another new friend, just signed our witness book. You're Amy?
I'm Amy Neely. I'm a local reporter here in Steubenville, Ohio.
And it's kind of cool. She's come down here to the side of the river, and we did an interview, and we'll connect the article she writes to the Facebook page for the record, and we just decided we'd turn it around and interview Amy.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to share with the world?
I'm a single mother of 2 amazing children. I have a 13-year-old daughter, Ella, and a 10-year-old son named Liam.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming down to the river. We hope you become a part of the trip and maybe post on our page. And thank you so much. It's people like you that make this river so enjoyable.
Well, thank you for making me a part of this.
We'll see you down the river.
See ya.
Still having fun. Well, it's a beautiful evening on the Ohio River. I'm just south of Marietta, Ohio. West Virginia is just on the other side of the river. I am camping out on an island that's between West Virginia and Ohio. You can see my tent there in the background, and I'll kind of give you a little view of what's going on. I got my boat secured to a tree over there, and the river's just beautiful. The sun's just setting right now. And you can see across the river there's some houses over there. But I'm on the river side of the island away from the barge traffic, so this is a much quieter side of the river. And just continue. It's a beautiful wooded island. There's deer tracks all around my camp. Probably get some deer traffic through during the night. And then I'm just getting set up to cook dinner right now, and call it a night. See you in the morning. Bye. Good morning. It's day 4, and first day I did about 75 miles. Next day I did about 100 miles. Next day I did about 140, I think, 1 miles. So getting closer to that 200 mile mark. At the start of the trip, The locks are very close together, and we had some under maintenance and had some other issues. But the goal is to get the trip up to around 200 miles per day, and I'm hoping we can do that today. The big challenge today is I'm expecting some very heavy thunderstorms for a large portion of the day, starting around 10 o'clock this morning. It makes it a little bit more of a challenge, but the challenges are what you remember at the end of the trip as something you overcame. Let me give you a little view of the camp again. I didn't show my boat last night, but my boat is tied right next to my tent. And I suspected last night that I would see some deer traffic, so I'm sitting getting my breakfast ready this morning, and I hear some snorting, and there's a deer standing about 20 feet behind me, stomping its feet and snorting, let me know I was in its territory. But yeah, you can see I got my books out doing my trip log there. And let's see, these are the woods. The deer was right back in there. And back to the sunrise. Okay guys, it's time to get my gear packed and get on the road, and I will check you down the river. Still having fun. Hey, this is Dave and I. We're in the loaner vehicle from the local marina. They gave me a place. Dave and I are sleeping in their covered area tonight, and gave us a boat slip and loaned us this golf cart to cruise down and look at. They've got this cool mural, and we're headed over to the local brew pub to get some pizza and beer. But people on the river are the best. Still having fun. Keep joining in. Take care. Good morning. It's the 5th day on the river. It's Thomas and I hanging out here in his camper in Portsmouth, Ohio. Dave scoped out this cool marina on the river and met Thomas and Joe, a couple of the owners. And Thomas, are you from Portsmouth?
I am.
Okay.
Been here most of my life.
And you stay down here by the river a lot of the time?
Well, all summer.
All summer. Then you got a place in Arizona, I think, or
Well,
Florida?
I got one in Arizona, one in Florida, and then one in Kentucky.
Man,
My house is about a mile up the river I got a A-frame on the river.
but you choose to stay here right by the
I
river.
stay here.
And if I was you, I'd be staying here right beside the river also, because they have the coolest group of people that as it cools off and evening and the sunset, a number of the locals came out and we visited and just had the best time. And then lo and behold, they're gonna let us stay on the pavilion, and it was great sleeping last night because it rained and we got to keep everything dry. And then Joe and Thomas offered us the marina's golf cart. We went into town and ate at the brew pub. And I hope y'all saw the video of Dave and I running through the middle of town with the golf cart. It was just amazing. And yeah, we're still having a great time. About 500 miles down the river now. We'll be on the Mississippi in about 3 days. So we're still having fun on the river, and thank you so much for becoming part of it, Thomas. And we'll see you down the river. Still having fun. Well, I just made it to Cincinnati, Ohio. There's Cincinnati Reds Stadium. And coincidentally, I just broke the Guinness World Record of 600 miles on a continuous journey by John boat. Now, still unofficially, there's a 1,500 mile record out there that we've got to continue to work on. But officially, as of right now, I've broken the Guinness World Record. Yeah! So, I'm going to get on down the river. Looks like I got a pretty big storm coming up to the west of me. And I just transferred some fuel, so I'm ready to head a little bit further down. Gonna meet Dave just west of Cincinnati, and I'm going to try to make it onto Louisville tonight, or before tonight, and Louisville, Kentucky, and we'll see how far I make it. But yeehaw, I broke the Guinness World Record. Take care. Good morning. It's day 6. Dave and I had a beautiful campsite on the lawn of a fuel company service, and it was arranged by Hiram Hogg, a really good friend of mine that became a friend just a couple of weeks ago at the Ultimate Fandango. And Deborah helped us get together with Hiram, and worked out really well. So we partied a little late. Had to test some Kentucky bourbon last night since we were in Kentucky. Dave was pretty good though. He didn't wake up as slow as I did this morning. He was actually up before me. But okay, so let's see. There's our campsite. Dave's already got his tent put away, and I'll kind of make a turn here and give you a view of the Louisville water line. It was actually pretty good last night. And Louisville is actually visible off in the distance upstream. We're on the east side of Louisville right now. And just another day with rain, and still had lots of fun, but starting to get tired of getting rained on. I think there's a little chance of rain today, but I think it's going to be sunny. But we're still having fun on the river, and I'll see you before too long. Take care. Good morning. I'm back again. As we were doing the logbooks this morning, we noted that we were at the 727.5 of miles of the total trip, and I wanted to honor every person that has set a record in a John boat. And 2 years ago, the Chattanooga boys, there's 2 guys in a John boat, went from Chattanooga down to the Gulf and did a 727-mile trip. They posted it as a world record. I'm not sure that they filed the paperwork, but regardless, I feel certain that they did it. And as I pass their record of 727 miles, I want to say congratulations, and all records are going to get beat. Mine's going to get beat, but so we passed the 600-mile mark, the 727, and then we'll do a one. If we're fortunate enough to get past 1,500 miles, we'll do one to honor Mark Phelps and his 1,500-mile journey in a John boat. But Chattanooga guys, sorry you got passed up, but we are moving on down the river and having a great time, still having fun. Take care. I don't know if you can hear me over the motor, but I'm coming into the bridges of Louisville, and you're looking at downtown Louisville there behind the bridges. I just thought I'd give you a little sense of what it feels like moving down the river. Looks like we got the KFC stadium over here, some kind of sports stadium, and it's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, and should have a lock coming up pretty quickly, and I may post some pictures from yesterday as I'm wading through on the lock. I'll get you later. Still having fun. Bye. Good morning. I thought I'd give you a taste of what it's like to pass a 3x5 coal barge with a towboat. They carry 15 barges of coal with a large towboat, and you're getting ready to see the waves I deal with every time I cross. So we're hitting the waves generated by the barges right now, and we're getting ready to hit the towboat's waves in just a moment. Okay, they'll be larger, a little choppier. And the towboat will leave swells for about a half mile behind him on the river. But that's what you deal with every time you pass a towboat and barges. This is the Owensboro, Kentucky water line. Beautiful buildings, a lot of people out enjoying the river today. I'm stuck at a lock. I'm at the Newburgh lock between Kentucky and Indiana, and I get there and I got a 2-hour wait to get through this lock. And I'll give you a little turn around here and show you there's some of the towboats that are waiting to get through the lock. And I should be the next boat in to the lock. The lock master just called me and said the next northbounder that comes out, I can flip over there and get in the lock when he gets out. So, been waiting here a while, having a few challenges. The magnesium sacrificial anode, which is also the trend tab on the motor, broke off today going through logs in the river. And what that does is it takes the torque out of the motor. So I made a little assist rope to help me hold the torque on the motor so I can hold a straight course. And then I noticed my backup lock wasn't working, so as I was pulling in, I had to do some waiting, so I just gave everything a good once over and noticed the tilt pin clevis had broke off. And I have some parts and stuff with me. I was able to do a permanent fix on that and get that pin back in place that locks the tilt. And so we got that one under control. I'll probably try to pick up that sacrificial anode, which is also the trim tab in Memphis. There's not really going to be a place before because it's Saturday, then I'll have Sunday, and really there's no big towns till I get to Memphis. Tonight we'll be just somewhere out on the river, and tomorrow night we're hoping to make it to New Madrid, Missouri. Take care, still having fun. Good morning, it's day 7. We just slept in Unionville. I don't know if you can see the sign right there. How about Uniontown, not Unionville. We slept in their county park on the river. A really nice spot. And so we, let's see, there's Dave's tent. I already got my tent down, getting ready to get on the river. And there's our rolling wagon full of stuff. And there's the fuel. We get to see how we carry the fuel right here. And we can carry 25 gallons here, and Dave gets it to me and refuels. He's a wonderful guy, and a little flag so he didn't get run over. And back there is a boat dock where my boat is positioned and safely stored for the night, and I didn't have to worry about the river going down and getting it stuck again. But we're going to make it to the Mississippi River today. It's about, I think, 209 miles to New Madrid, where we're going to stay with a friend tonight, Bud Henry. And I want to thank Anthony. I had a part break on my motor, not a critical part, but a part that helps me with steering. And Anthony is arranged to get us a part. I'll probably get it on this afternoon if he doesn't show up early this morning. But Anthony, I sure do appreciate you coming up with that. And we're gonna get on down the river, still having fun. Hey, visiting with Ron, Guy, and Bobby. Hey guys. Hey, I was driving down the river, saw these guys fishing. What are y'all fishing for?
Catfish.
Catfish? Y'all done any good this morning?
Yeah.
Oh my God, let me get a picture of that. Look at all those catfish. Got one big in there.
He ain't big, but he's the biggest one we got today.
All right. Man, I should have brought a fishing pole. But I'm trying to get some miles covered. So, y'all get to come out very often?
Yeah, we come out about 7 in the morning most times.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a good friend of mine that I met. I canoed the Mississippi several years ago, and I met a guy in New Madrid, and he's a big fisherman on the Mississippi. He does a lot of jugging.
Well, I do it, but I can't get these old men there. They got to go to bed to go. I ain't never been offered. You ain't never volunteered either. I just did. Okay.
Yeah, I got to go jugging sometime. That sounds like fun. Well, guys, it's sure nice to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Robert. Yeah, if you want to find out if any of y'all do Facebook at all, there's a Facebook page called John Boat, JONBOAT World Record, and you can kind of see, you'll see yourself on it. And let me go ahead and stop this video. Well, guys, I'm going to stop this video and we'll discuss a little bit more about the Facebook page.
All right.
Boy, it's a peaceful day on the river. Just the river is just calm as glass, and no boats for as far as I can see, and I'm on a straightaway that goes as far as you can see. Just giving you a big old 360 of this beautiful section of remote Ohio River. Indiana or Illinois, I'm not sure, on the north side, and Kentucky on the south side. Just crazy beautiful. A shout out to my classmate from high school, Sharon Braden, born in Paducah, Kentucky, just passing the port of Paducah right now. Getting on down the river. Mississippi's not too far down. Well, we made it to the Mississippi River. Let me give you a look at it. That's the point where the two rivers converge, right there. And you're looking at towboats in the Mississippi River right now. And I'll bring it around. And now you're looking down the Mississippi. You can see the number of barges on the towboats get huge. You'll notice that towboat has 3 motors on it, much larger than any towboat on the Ohio. Good morning. I thought I'd give you a taste of what it's like to pass a 3x5 coal barge with a towboat. They carry 15 barges of coal with a large towboat, and you're getting ready to see the waves I deal with every time I cross. So we're hitting the waves generated by the barges right now, and we're getting ready to hit the towboat's waves in just a moment. Okay, they'll be larger, a little choppier. And the towboat will leave swells for about a half mile behind him on the river, but that's what you deal with every time you pass a towboat and barges. Good morning. We're in New Madrid, Missouri, and this is my 3rd chance to eat with the farmers and people in New Madrid, Missouri, and great people. And Bud Henry is hosting me on this trip. Bud's right over there, and in fact these guys told me what I should do is load Bud up with me and take him on down the river, but he can't be that bad. Hey, good morning. There's my fisherman guy from last trip. Let me so good morning.
How are you today?
Remind me your name.
Jerry Whitehead.
Jerry is like the premier catfish fisherman of the Mississippi River. He has a secret hole, but Bud told me they filled in your hole the other day.
They did. They screwed it up.
Well, you come over here and they
running down the river in the boat.
I'm gonna tell you all about it. We're gonna talk boats. But then you got the this breakfast over here for like $5.90. You get all the gravy and biscuits and hash browns and eggs you can eat, and just fill yourself up with some coffee. But New Madrid is the earthquake capital of the world. 1811 and 1812, they had some of the biggest earthquakes ever.
split the Mississippi and ran it backwards. They got a great museum of the history of the town, and they got another museum of the earthquake history. Still having fun, man. See you down the river.
Good morning. It's Monday, the 8th day of the trip. As you can look at those flags there, the wind's blowing pretty hard. We got some storms moving in. I'm gonna wait till a little afternoon to get on the river today. Maybe this wind will die down, and they've got some work going on the river, and they've got the river closed down from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. right now, all day doing work on a dike, or what I call a wing dam in the river. So I'm gonna leave out of here and try to get down to that repair at about 6:30, so I can go on a little past it and camp out on the river. But this is the town of New Madrid, the famous town of the 1811, 1812 earthquakes. Over 200 earthquakes of a very high magnitude hit this town, put a big part of it in the river. It's also a town very famous for its Civil War activity and early trading. We're on a levee that protects the town now from the Mississippi, and they've got a beautiful observation deck here. If you're ever going down the river headed up to St. Louis, you need to pull into New Madrid. It is such a beautiful town. And there's Dave and Bud Henry, our host for the trip, and for overnight here we stayed at his house and went out to dinner and just had the best time. And come on around here and show you downtown. This is the Earthquake Museum right here, and Bud actually was one of the founders of the Earthquake Museum, and still sits on the board of directors. Downtown Madrid, it's New Madrid, and it's early in the morning, so not a lot of people downtown. And then the flags of New Madrid, and right here is an exhibit of a saw they would put on a barge to saw the trees off below the water line so the boats could get under it. But we're having another great morning on the Mississippi River and still having fun. We'll see you down the river. 1,200 miles I've covered so far. Have a good one. Hey, I'm in New Madrid, Missouri with my good bud Bud Henry. And we're about 1,200 miles into the journey at this point. In 2008, I came into New Madrid, and I walked to a hotel in the rain, and I walked down to the museum, the Earthquake Museum, and Ella was a lady working the desk there, and she says, hey, I need to get some of the board of directors over here, and Bud Henry showed up. And it was late in the year, and Bud invited me to the Veterans Day dinner they had down in town, and he said, you know what, I think you're going to be spending the night at my house tonight. And Bud and I have been good friends ever since, and I brought my wife down here, and then I had my brother down to visit Bud, and Bud, I just want to tell you how much I thank you over the years. And
it's been a nice pleasure. I enjoy people that's doing things like that. I pretty appreciate the deal of knowing you.
Well, I know you've not only done this for me, but for other canoers and stuff coming down the river.
Yeah, being here right on the river.
And
meet a lot of different people coming down. I don't mind.
And you still love the river and get out on it pretty often?
Raised on it.
Raised on the river?
Raised right here on it.
Yeah, the last trip in 2008, I got to meet his mama, who was just the most wonderful soul. And she just lived right on the river, and her whole life she spent the river. I think one time she went out of town and went down to Arkansas. And but she raised a wonderful family, and while we're here, Bud's giving us a tour of town and taking Dave and I around town, and then we worked on the boat a little bit. He loaned me a file, and we got the prop in good shape. But caught a good night's sleep at Bud's house last night, and we're getting ready to head down the river about noon. The river is closed down for dike operations, and so I'm gonna leave out around here at noon and try to get there about the time they open the river up at around 6 o'clock and slip a ways down. I'll try to camp out tonight in the rain, but still having a great time and having fun on the river, and I'll see you down the river. Thanks, Bud.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
Okay. Okay, guys, I wanted to share my boat staking system and docking for the night. So I found a nice steep bank where it's about 6 foot deep at the back where my motor is. I went ahead and put in a secondary stake over to the side to keep it from swinging one way. Then I put in a secondary stake on the other side to keep the boat from swinging. And then I put a stake in front so it will hold its position. Even if the river drops or rises, it should keep the boat from swinging sideways and getting stuck on dry land. Okay, so I have this stake holding it. I have a secondary stainless steel auger, and then I ran a rope all the way up to the tree line and tied it to a third level of security. I don't want to lose my boat. I like having my boat to get down this river. Okay, I'm getting ready to prepare dinner. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Good morning. I am so happy to share this glorious morning on the Mississippi River. I'm about 40 miles north of Memphis, Tennessee. And I should break the unofficial world record, the one that hadn't been certified yet, of 1,500 miles today. And I should have the undisputed world record on John Boat journey, but I didn't do it for that. I did it for this. Look at that beautiful sunrise, that calm Mississippi River. My trusty boat here by my side, and I got up this morning and had some oatmeal and some coffee, and here's my camp, just feet from the edge of the river. Wow, this is the life. Let me give you one more look at this sunrise. Okay, there you go, guys. This is why I do this, man. Heck with Guinness World Records. It's all about living life to the fullest and enjoying our beautiful planet. Y'all have a good day. I'm still having fun. Take care. Bye. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, August the 21st, about 4:11 p.m. I'm about 28 miles out of Greenville, Mississippi. I just passed a very significant mileage. I just hit 1,500 miles. There is a preliminary record set by a fellow named Mark Phelps from Cincinnati, Ohio. He did a 1,500 mile trip in a John boat last year, and it's yet to be certificated, but I believe he did it, and I want to honor him for his effort. Records are made to be broken, and I just passed the 1,500 mile record. So for the next 2 days, I'm going to keep adding on some mileage. Hope to add another 600 plus miles. And Mark, sorry it got broke, but like I said, they're to be broken, and mine will get broken too. But still having fun on the river. I'm going to meet Dave in about an hour in Greenville and get fueled up and head to the coast. Should be wrapping this trip up in about 2 more days, weather permitting. Take care, guys. Good morning. It's day 10. I'm on a sand island out in the middle of the Mississippi River. I'm just a few miles south of Greenville, Mississippi.
I'm at mile 537. It means I'm 537 miles from mile 0. Now, mile 0 is the head of the exits into the Mississippi River. So to go out the southwest exit, the one that's used the most, is another 20 miles. So I'm 547 miles from the coast. I made a mistake yesterday and said I could probably make it in 2 days. So we're probably looking at 3 days right now to get out to the Gulf. And that's, you know, guessing that we've got gonna have good weather all the time. It's a little after 6 in the morning, and I always get up and make sure my boat's still there, and it's there. You can see it kind of over the hill right there, and the sun's just starting to come up over the east, and give you a little tour of my island. It's a very large island. I walked across it last night before I went to bed over to the main river. So I'm on the non-river side of the island. I like to camp on the opposite side of islands just because it cuts down on the towboat traffic at night and people hitting you with their searchlights while they're going down the river. But man, slept really well last night. It's just so quiet, and weather-wise, it looks like I'm going to have a light north wind, so that wind will put that wind behind me, which makes it really nice. Even if there's small waves, if they're coming from the wind's coming from behind you, you can travel over them very comfortably and quickly. So, and I think the highest chance of rain for the next 3 days is 20% chance. So the weather looks to be outstanding for the next 3 days. So I'm anticipating that we'll wrap this up in like 3 days. So that's all good news. Still having a great time on the river. How can you not have a great time when you wake up and you see this beautiful sandbar right out in the middle of the Mississippi River? But guys, I'll see you down the river. Still having fun.
It's the morning of the 11th day. I'm on my way into Vicksburg, Mississippi, and I just want to give you a view of what the Mississippi River looks like naturally. The river lives. It moves with the curves of the bottom, and there's natural little eddies and heaves in the river, and it's such a large and powerful river. It's just amazing. I'll look over here in that buoy, and you can see the current kicking that buoy around. I would guess the current is running about 5 miles per hour, which allows me to move around 32 miles per hour in the boat. But it's a beautiful morning. I just wanted to share what a natural section of the river looks like without any barge traffic. When the barge traffic comes around me, the waves get huge. The big barges, the big tows carrying 42 barges can kick swells up 3 or 4 feet tall, which when they get that big, they require me to slow down and wait for them to dissipate a little bit. But they can disturb the water for about a mile behind them. Okay, well, I better keep my attention on what I am constantly doing is looking for logs floating in the river that could damage my motor. And I see hundreds of them every day and have to slightly adjust my course. But okay, having a lot of fun. I really enjoy being on the river like this, and I see a big old tow and barge set coming around the bend up in front of me, so I better get back after it. Just having a blast on the river. Talk at you later. Bye.
Hey. Video taking a picture.
Yeah,
okay, I got you.
I'm with Brad and Judd in Vicksburg at the Waterfront, and got a big old Corps of Engineers barge. They must be having a VIP day because there are lots of people in coats and ties going over there. They surely ain't going to work on the river. But Brad is a law enforcement officer here in this area, and he just signed my witness book. I thank you so much for that. Okay, and Here's the boat. Dave's down here, trusty Dave, with more gasoline. Unfortunately, got held up on his gasoline last night and lost a bottle or two and at the hotel, but no big deal. Walmart $11.95 will get us another gas can.
That's it.
And the city of Vicksburg is right there. That wall is the coolest. If you get here, they got all the floods marked from all the years. And in that big old tugboat you just saw in the river, they got its sister up on the land right up there, and you can take a tour of it. It's amazing. I did that with Deborah a few years ago. And so that's the Yazoo River, isn't it, right there? That's the Yazoo River. It goes up over to Yazoo where they made Yazoo lawnmowers. I used to be in the lawnmower business. And but 3-wheel lawnmowers, that was the day, man. Okay, well, we're gonna be back on the river, still having fun, man. I'm coming into Natchez. This is the and gonna come up here to the city boat ramp and pick up another 6 or 7 gallons of fuel, and that should be enough fuel to get me on to New Orleans and allow me to go ahead and just skip, well, obviously go through Port Allen and Baton Rouge, but not have to get gas there. And then I'll camp out somewhere tonight and meet Dave in New Orleans tomorrow. So everything's going great. Still having lots of fun, making lots of miles with a really light north wind, and it's been a very pleasurable day. I'll get you later.
Hi, John Verton from Golden Valley, Minnesota. Making my way to New Orleans and out to Venice. Is it Port Venice, I believe?
Yeah, and then are you going to go down to Zero, or are you going to go to the Gulf, or what's your plan?
I plan to go through New Orleans and out into the Gulf waters, get some salt water on the bow of this Hobie pedal kayak.
Yeah.
And it's been a wonderful trip. My trusty umbrella has paid great dividends, keeping me somewhat cool. I got all my camping gear here, and I mix and match with my wife, who meets me from the shore from day to day. And now I'm meeting you, Guinness World Book of Records, longest journey by John boat.
Yeah, I broke the record in Cincinnati of 600 miles. There's a guy who did a 1,500 mile trip that hadn't been certified yet, and I broke that yesterday, and I'm at about a little over 1,700 right now. And
Awesome, man.
so what I did when I canoed is I went on out to the Gulf. I took the Southwest Passage, and pretty quickly when I finished, I caught a boat and got a ride back to Venice.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have done that. It's from Venice. It's 10 miles down to Zero, and then another 20 to the ocean.
Okay.
And it would be a pretty ugly paddle back up.
Right.
But generally,
You end up hiring a boater to give you a tow back?
no, just wave down these guys know about us crazy guys, and I just waved down a fisherman. Is a small commercial fishing boat, and he picked me up and gave me a ride. But okay, well, let me get off this. Are you still having fun?
Oh, I am actually having fun. It's a blast. Just the solitude, simplicity, the physicality of it, sense of accomplishment, life adventure. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Me either.
It's the same thing.
I'm still having fun too. Take care, man.
Proud of you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping.
Good morning. It's the morning video, day 11. I think I may have said day 11 yesterday, but you know how that goes. But it's day 11 today, and I'm 187 miles north of New Orleans. Hope to be in there around 3:30, and had a good camp last night. It was a little side creek coming in the Mississippi, and I pulled just a little ways up it so wouldn't take waves directly off of the towboats. And my tent was set up right there. You can see I kind of leveled it so I wouldn't slide down into the water last night. And there's the almighty Mississippi at the end of this little creek. And everything's going well. And getting ready to start the motor and head out for another great day on the river. Still having fun. Take care. Bye. Okay, now I'm entering the, getting near the coast. I'm encountering my first ships in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Looks like I got a tugboat coming up on me right here, and you can see the big bridge over Baton Rouge, over the Mississippi River in Baton Rouge. But now a whole new game, dealing with ships. Still having fun. Take care. Between Baton Rouge and New Orleans is a large petrochemical and grain distribution complex. Basically about 80 miles of docks, barges, and chemical plants. Very heavy amount of barge traffic, tugboat traffic, ship traffic. It's typically pretty rough in this area. Just another look at the river. Still having fun. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Bye. I'm entering the French Quarter area, and this is the passenger ship docks here, cruise liners. And I'll just go ahead and stay with it for a little bit. It's like the Carnival Triumph here. Crossing under the big bridge. We got a small working boat coming up. A lot of these boats are used for crew changes on towboats and some of these dredge operations. Coming into the river walk. There's some shopping areas here. Get over this lake. Should be the French Quarter. There's the ferry that takes people back across the river right there at the French Quarter. Yep, that's the Jack's Brewery right up ahead. Fairmont, West Virginia to New Orleans. Still a little left to go. Well, there's the famous French Quarter, the Café de Ma. I'm going to have to come back next time and get a beignet there. And the Jack's Brewery. Sorry, I'm going to have to miss that one, but got to go meet up with Dave and get some more fuel and get on with this trip. Having a good one. Take care. Bye. Wanted to give you the experience of passing a ship. I've also got some kind of utility boat up in front of me also that's throwing me some flakes, but let's see what happens. Find out is ships don't put out much of a wake. This utility boat's going to put out a big one. It'll be exciting as I cross this wake. I'll come in here and I'll just kind of slide over it sideways. Getting there is the chop from the ship. It's not too bad, but you do pick up a little chop from the ship. Okay, you got to experience crossing a utility boat wake and a ship wake at the same time. Okay guys, still having fun. Actually gonna head on down to Venice tonight, meet Dave. We're gonna pull the boat on the trailer and stay at a hotel and eat some seafood. And back on the water in the morning, and we'll get on out to the Gulf. Still having fun. Okay guys, tell me about your journey.
Okay, started Lake Itasca June 18th, and today's what, August 22nd?
Third, yeah.
Yep.
Tell me your names.
Casey Cooper, this
Casey.
is my brother Jamie Cooper.
Jamie?
Jamie, yep.
So when did you said you came on later?
Yeah, I joined him in Baton Rouge last Sunday. We started paddling, so that was the 19th. Yep.
Yeah, so were you solo before that?
Yep.
Yeah, I ran my Lumacraft the whole way solo, and what I did is I just turned it around. I sat in the front seat because it's closer to the center.
Right. I did that a few times when the wind was getting really bad.
Yeah, and I took out that thwart right behind the front seat so I could get my leg down. Right. And I actually built in a little thing I could push with my feet against. But well, cool guys. Well, good luck with your journey, and it's one you'll always remember. I know I do. Right. Take care, guys.
Yeah,
we're still having fun on the river. Bye.
Yeah, for sure. Ready for the next one.
Good morning. I am in Port Venice, Louisiana. It's about as far south as you can go and still be in Louisiana. I am 10 miles from mile 0 and 30 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. Well, you're going to get a bonus today. We're going to do another 200-mile leg over to Morgan City, and we're doing it through the Gulf. The conditions offshore are outstanding. We've reviewed all the safety procedures, so I think we're going to have a great run today offshore. I'll try to do some video while I'm offshore, but so we are at the Cypress Cove Marina in Venice, and we stayed in a really nice hotel last night. The folks here were accommodating. They gave us a discount on the hotel room and let us use their docking facility with no charge, so that was really nice. And so I'm fueled up, got everything ready to go, got my route plotted on the Navionics software that I've got with me. So we're headed out to the Gulf of Mexico, having crazy good fun today. Take care. Bye. We'll see you later. Good morning. What you see here is mile zero, the head of waters of the Mississippi River. This is where the Mississippi River converges with the three main channels that exit the delta and head to the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to take the Southwest Passage out of the Mississippi into the Gulf of Mexico. And it is a major channel for shipping traffic, so I'll see some people down there. It's the channel that Eads opened up in the, God, I don't remember the date, but he created the Eads Bridge in St. Louis and found a way to open up the exit of the Mississippi into the Gulf of Mexico. I tell you, I'm so excited to be here. 20 more miles and down this Southwest Passage, and I'll be at the Gulf of Mexico. Guys, I am elated right now, not just having fun, but I'll see you down the river. Take care. Bye. Good morning. On the 12th day, I am going to do a little spin around with the boat here, and I am at the end of the jetties of the Southwest Passage of the Mississippi River, getting ready to enter the Gulf of Mexico. I hope you've enjoyed this trip so far, because we're going to add a little addition to it. In my business, I always try to deliver everything you expect and a little bit more than you could imagine. Well, from here, I'm going to make a right-hand turn out into a very calm Gulf of Mexico. We're going to travel 140 miles of blue water to the mouth of the Atchafalaya River and then head up to Morgan City. I'll try and get some video of some offshore oil rigs while I'm offshore. So for the next 140 miles, we'll be running blue water. I am having fun beyond your imagination. Take care. Bye. Okay, just wanted to give you all the sense of crossing the Gulf of Mexico in a John boat. When you're off the coast of Louisiana, there's just a massive number of oil rigs out here. So I use my Navionics chart plotter, and it gives me the general direction I want to go. And then I just choose a oil rig. I think you can see the one off in the distance in front of me. And so I just use a course relative to that oil rig. And I already picked another oil rig that's probably 20 miles off into the distance. It's going to be the next oil rig I head toward. We'll just continue working that way from oil rig to oil rig for the 140 miles or so over to the Atchafalaya River entrance. So it's all going good. I just love being out offshore. Used to do it as a kid, just kind of staying close to the shore off Freeport, but I'm getting pretty far out there on this trip. But as you can see, the conditions are real nice, maybe 1 foot, slightly choppy seas, and supposed to maintain this or get calmer all day long. Just having a blast out in the Gulf of Mexico. I will be posting some more probably as I circle some oil rigs. Talk to you later. Right now I'm about 15 to 20 miles offshore. This is the rig that I've been using to keep my course for the last 45 minutes or so. Saw it way out on the horizon. I've gotten away from the Mississippi and I'm not quite to the Atchafalaya, and I've been very fortunate enough to hit some blue water. It is so beautiful out here. At the furthest, I was about probably 30 to 40 miles offshore, and you can see the seas are calm but confused. When you get the situation where the wind changes rather abruptly, we had a change to north winds yesterday, and the sea is just kind of reacting to the change from south winds to north winds, and you get this look. It's just kind of no particular direction on the wave motion, and the winds are just very, very calm, slightly out of the north. Just for comfort, I could run full speed, but just for comfort, I've been running about 23 miles per hour, maybe 21 to 23. And you can see off in the distance there's multiple oil rigs. when you're off the coast of Louisiana, you're always near an oil rig. So I'm gonna head on back. Covered almost 70 miles this morning, and got a total of about 200 today to get to Morgan City. So I'm gonna get back underway. Just enjoying this blue water. I hope you're enjoying the trip along with me, and still having a blast. I just love blue water. Take care. I was hoping I would pass one of these rigs, but you don't see anything like this off the coast of Texas. But here you've got 3 oil rigs close together, and they have put walkways between the 3 oil rigs, and I assume they have pipelines on those walkways so they can probably feed all of the oil to a central pipeline from the 3 rigs. But yeah, it's like a big old city up there on those stilts above the water. Still have some pretty blue water. We got some commercial boat traffic up ahead of me. They probably think I'm crazy. If they want to visit, I'll get them on channel 16 and move them over to 14 and have a visit with them. Let them know I'm okay. Moderately sane at least. Okay, well, I'm still having fun, and I'm not too far offshore now. I'm about 10 miles offshore and probably about another 70 miles from getting out of the Gulf at the Atchafalaya River. Take care. Have a good one. Still having fun. Good afternoon. It's just afternoon on the Gulf of Mexico. I'm in the old John boat, running about 23, 24 miles per hour now. It's just a nice, comfortable speed in this little choppy seas out here in the Gulf. As you can see, it's nothing but water out front. I really have some great navionics. I'm using the navionics application on my tablet. I've got maps on my phone, and I've got an inReach Explorer with maps. So we've got lots of backup should I have navigation issues, but everything's going smooth. Navionics is taking me right on course, straight to the Atchafalaya River. And I'll be checking in with you next there. Still having fun, man. Take care. Okay, well, I thought I would share refueling operations while I'm out here in the Gulf. So I've already loaded 1 can, so just grab my little siphon. This is a special siphon that you just has a one-way valve on it, and when you give it this jerking motion, the fuel starts flowing down the hose. Well, if I get it all the way going. Okay, got it going that time. But so let me just kind of back up a little bit. So out here in the Gulf of Mexico, filling my big tank back up, and I'll just kind of give you a little tour around the boat. So there's my seat, and my radio's right there, my tablet with my navionics, and that is my odometer. It's a little GPS I use for odometer. You can see my bilge pump outlet right there, my trusty little Mercury, and this crazy good seat. I was told I use these on Ranger bass boats. I bought it through Amazon. I generally keep a couple of gallons of water with me, and I have one Gatorade there I'm working on. I have another one in my carry box. And this is my horn, in case I need to warn anyone or warn a boat. And that's the inReach GPS. Hopefully some of you have been following me on. And the shore is right over here to the right, and my destination to get out of the Gulf of Mexico is right out that way. I think I've got about 40 more miles of Gulf before I get inland. Still having fun. I love the challenge of being out here in the Gulf and refueling, and got this nice beautiful salt there, and everything's working great. So I will see you down the river. Take care. Having fun. Bye. Not exactly sure what's going on, but the water is full of these like water lilies, it looks like. And I'm coming into the channel to the Atchafalaya. It's all over the Gulf here, getting denser as I get closer to the Atchafalaya Channel. The channel markers you see up in front of me are the Atchafalaya. So I shouldn't be too much longer before I get out of the Gulf, get on into the Atchafalaya River and back to the coast. It's going to be nice. But I've loved it out here, but it's time to get back on the coast. Still having a blast, loving all this vegetation out here. Have a good one, still having fun. Well, we're putting a cherry on the top. We did that last couple 100 miles to top this banana split off, and we're calling it a trip right now, and I'm just so happy with the results. We were blessed with good weather the last 8 or so days, and had all of our storm weather up where we could manage it in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Just successfully completed a 140-mile crossing of the Gulf of Mexico. Got to see some blue water, took some awesome videos I'll share with y'all guys. And I got some good videos from the New Orleans area also. Right now we're in Morgan City, and I haven't done the stats yet, or completed my paperwork, but I think the trip's going to come out to just under 2,300 miles, but we'll give you the exact number a little bit later. There's the boat at the dock in Morgan City, and Dave has gone over to get a fisherman over there to sign our logbook and make this trip official. And we have the car right here. We've taken all the fuel cans off the back, so that trailer's no longer a fuel hauler. It's getting ready to be a boat hauler again. But guys, I'm so glad that y'all could join me on this trip. It was beautiful, wonderful being in the rivers and in the Gulf, and just having you along made it something extra special. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this camera off and get the boat loaded, and we're going to start working our way back to Austin. Take care.